Opportunity to brief you on the humanitarian situation in the occupied Palestinian territory. The level of suffering in Gaza defies our ability to capture it in words or even to comprehend its scale. Reality is brutal in Gaza, and it gets worse every day as the bombs continue to fall, as fierce fighting continues unabated, and as supplies essential for people's survival and humanitarian assistance are blocked at every turn. International humanitarian law must be respected, and this Council and all member states must exert all their influence to ensure it. Given the abject conditions and intolerable suffering in northern Gaza, the fact that humanitarian access is nearly non-existent is unquestionable. During the first 2 weeks of October, just 1 out of 54 coordinated movements to the north via the Al-Rashid checkpoint was facilitated by Israeli authorities, while another 4 were impeded but eventually accomplished. 85% of the movements were denied, and the rest were impeded or cancelled due to security or logistical issues. Throughout Gaza, less than a third of the 286 humanitarian missions coordinated with Israeli authorities in the first 2 weeks of October were facilitated without major incidents or delays. Only 3 of the 10 hospitals in North Gaza Governorate are now operational, and those only at minimum capacity. The facilities are facing dire shortages of fuel, blood, trauma treatment, and medications. Women are giving birth under heavy bombardment. For the 155,000 pregnant and breastfeeding women in Gaza, it is an exhausting and traumatizing experience not knowing where and how to give birth or whether their child will survive. There is no antenatal care, there is no medication, and then there is hunger.
Israel has a responsibility to do everything possible to avoid civilian casualties, even if Hamas was operating near the hospital in an attempt to use civilians as human shields. We've made this clear to Israel, just as we've made clear to the Israeli government at the highest levels that it must do more to address the intolerable and catastrophic humanitarian crisis in Gaza. 1 year into the fighting, with Hamas substantially degraded, Israeli authorities should be working with the UN and the international community on a plan for civilians to move inland. They should be facilitating, not obstructing, efforts to provide for temporary shelter, and they must restore basic services, including water, electricity, and sanitation.
The genocide is underway in the Gaza Strip. Israel feels more emboldened than ever, and the Palestinian people and the Lebanese people are paying with their lives the price of this impunity. There is no rule Israel did not break. There is no red line Israel did not cross. And it is yet to be held accountable for any of it.
We have been clear time and time again. Hamas must release their hostages immediately and unconditionally and lay down their arms. If any of you truly wish to see change, join us in these demands.